gosh, hi. Technically, this is me in the future, but I just wanted to say welcome to the vlog. Today, we're maybe buying a camper. We're looking at 2 in the Moses Lake, Washington area. And so yeah, there's 2 of them we're gonna look at. One that we've been looking at for, I think, 2 weeks, had our eye on. And then the other one that we just found a couple days ago, we figured we might as well look at multiple while we're in the area. So yeah, join us for the ride. Hi, some time has passed and I'm sick, so please ignore that. But when we went to look at this camper, we had a different expectation of how it was going to go. Online, the pictures made it seem like it was in better shape than it really was, and not that it was trashed, it definitely wasn't, but it needed some work that we just weren't sure if we were willing to invest in. We were already kind of taking a leap by purchasing the camper, let alone having to do some upgrades to fix it up. We knew that we'd probably want to change whatever camper that we got to make it a little more modern and update it, knowing that we would need to get an older year, but we weren't expecting this much damage. The people had lived in it for a year, which isn't too long, but a year's worth of living in it consistently really wears down a camper. The fridge and freezer worked really well. They were a great size. I loved the storage space in this camper. I loved that all the interior cabinets were white, but here in a second you're going to notice Nathan points. Yep. And he realized that the cabinets were wrapped. They weren't painted, which was causing it to peel. It was starting to peel. So we would have had to peel all that wrap off and repaint it in this camper, which again, we were expecting to make some upgrades, but not right off the bat like that. So we just weren't really prepared for that amount of damage, although it was really nice that it had a full-size bed and it had the pull-out on the couch and the dinette turned into a sleeper, and it had 2 bunks, as well as the bathroom was right off the front, and the bathroom had storage in itself, which I was really looking for.
Is the AC when we go camping? Because it's usually nice out, but
yeah.
we're not really glampers.
Yeah.
We had brought my dad along with us to kind of help us, give us another set of eyes. He'd also bought multiple campers before, so we thought that it would be good for the experience, you know, to say, okay, Dad, what do we need to look for? Because we may have jumped at buying this camper when we didn't really love it. Because we came in with a mindset of what we wanted and we thought it was what we wanted, and ultimately it just wasn't. It was a very cute camper. I am very bummed that this isn't the camper that we came home with, because it did have some really neat features, which you'll hear my dad say shortly. But it just wasn't what we were looking for, and it was too much money to invest in it. The only problem was this little door here, the window, they had to block off and seal it because they were having some troubles with it leaking. Otherwise, everything worked really great, and so it was a bummer that we had to pass it up.
A little rougher than I anticipated.
Yeah.
I love the layout and some of the features, so it's really going to come down to, you know, and the fact that somebody lived in it for a year, where they built their house, that's usually hard on campers.
Yeah.
If you said, hey, how about 11?
Yeah.
If he says, nah, just like, okay, well, thank you. I mean, that's kind of where I'm sitting at it.
Really?
Very sweet people, right?
Yeah.
It was a little rougher in person than I expected,
Yeah.
but there was some cool, the layout of it's cool.
Yeah.
The slide out's cool. So we'll just have to look at this other one and, you know.
Well, that's what I was telling Nathan, is obviously for the right price, some of that stuff, it's worth the work because the layout's so nice.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen, I mean, it sleeps like, it could at least 6.
Yeah.
But up to like 8 people. It's a left here, right?
Yes, correct.
You can't find anything that sleeps 6 to 8 people that's affordable for us anyway.
Yeah.
So
It's just like, it's just hard to find anything that's in that cheaper price range.
number 2.
Melanie. Nice to meet you.
Immediately walking up to this camper, we knew that we liked it. It was a little bit smaller than the other one, which honestly would probably work in our favor because Nathan's truck can only haul so much weight. The awning was in great shape, it just needed some cleaning. In fact, the whole camper was in great shape. We even noticed that there was no bubbling on the floors, which means that there should be no water damage. We also noticed that the camper had just as much storage as the other one. I didn't love that the bed was tucked in the far back corner, but it also provided some privacy, so I didn't hate it. It just wasn't my favorite feature. I did notice that there was a Jason Aldean CD in the radio, which I'm partial to Jason Aldean because I grew up listening to him with my dad. Jason Aldean. I didn't love the bathroom. I hated the fact that the bathroom sink was on the outside. I thought that was dumb, and immediately said we should look into fixing that. The fridge was working properly and also a nice size. The stovetop was also a 3-burner. It was kind of cool that it had this little cover. The countertops weren't my favorite. Immediately Nathan cracked a joke about putting in butcher block, which you'll hear in a second, because that's just how Nathan is. But I liked that it had that little tray for additional counter space. The couch and cushions were all in really good shape. I mean, none of them were flat. It basically felt like a brand new camp trailer. It was just a little dirty. That's what it felt like. It felt like it had hardly been used, which, according to what the guy had said, he was selling it for his friend, and he said that they really didn't use it all that much. I would maybe want to replace this in the future.
You know what I love?
What?
Butcher block.
Nathan, Andrew. Oh, jeez Louise. Immediately after Nathan brought up the butcher block, the door slammed, so maybe that was God shutting the door on the butcher block? This mattress was replaced with an actual mattress, and it was so comfortable. I could tell right off the bat that Nathan and my dad had fallen in love with this camp trailer, and honestly, I hadn't. I was having a really hard time. I think it was because I was still dealing with the disappointment from the first camper. I wanted the first camper to be the one so bad, but wasn't prepared for the immediate shutdown when we saw it in person, which I was on board for, but it was just hard. So the guys gave me a little bit of time to look inside the camper and dream about what I would do different in order to like it better. I don't mind that. Yeah, and the fact that it has a bathtub and a skylight, like, that's obviously a big plus. That part, like, that's why I was trying to stand here and, like, picture me cosmetically. What would I do different to like it? I think there's things we can change to make it so I like it better. Yeah. And so I'm just trying to get over it. Agreeing that we would make some cosmetic changes in the future, we decided to move forward with the camper, even though I wasn't sold on it. But then this happened. Quick side note, I never asked permission to record this guy's face, and so I want to say right off the bat, I can't remember his name, but if you happen to be watching this and you want me to remove the clips of your face, please ask. I will gladly do so. I just thought this was way too cool of a story to not include this. I did intend to just keep this for myself, but once this happened, I knew that this was the Lord.
Okay, sounds good.
The MFI?
Yes. Yeah.
Is that like a worldwide deal?
Yeah, it's global. But,
Is it a group of like non-denominational?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
We're there's one in Moses Lake.
I was gonna say, is it Grace Harvest?
Yeah, Grace
Yeah,
Harvest.
I just started going there.
Really?
I'm leading worship tomorrow.
That's
the first time.
Yeah.
This immediately put my mind at ease, and I felt like it was a little sign from God to say, just move forward and the rest will fall into place. And that's exactly what happened. These people are going to a church that's part of the same organization our church is part of. So he asked about it, and I think that I needed that. I needed to hear that.
So I liked this camper because it was in really good shape for the year that it was. Everything worked. And yeah, it just reminded me of my parents' camper when I was little, so I was kind of excited about it. And again, just everything works really nice. And I could see us having lots of adventures in it. Alright, so we are doing a little bit of a DIY. We are redoing this. This is what we're doing. We are repainting the tub, redoing the tub, refinishing it. So I've sanded it down, I've vacuumed it, I've cleaned it, wiped it down. So we're gonna see how this goes. We're using a topside paint that's like a boat paint. It's a Rust-Oleum topside white paint, like a gloss for boats, but it works for tubs, I guess. So got this mask on because I was sanding fiberglass, and then I'm gonna go ahead and paint this. So we'll see how this turns out. I'm gonna do one coat and we'll see how it goes. Okay. So we finished this. Probably gonna flip the camera and record some more. But yeah, we finished this. I'm seeing like little touch-up things I need to do in here, but like it's gonna look a lot better. I wish I would have done this like in daylight, because like I can really see everything. But I went over it. I had a hard time seeing last night what I was doing. But I think I just went over it so many times that I actually got most of it. I think I just need to touch up with a brush. I don't even need to roll over with another coat because it's pretty thick. So, like, you know, there's some stuff here that obviously I need to, that's what it looked like before, that yellowish. So I need to, like, come in and touch that up. There's some spots here, I think right above there. But, like, otherwise, I mean, I gooped a little here. See, it's a little thick. But otherwise, yeah, man, that's white. That is white. And a lot better than that nasty yellow stuff. It was like this, this color here, this rubber trim here. Yeah, so very nice. A lot better than what it was.
Thank you so much for watching. Hope this was interesting to you. Make sure to hit like if you liked this kind of content. Make sure to comment if you want to say hey. Comment below, say hey dad. Because there's dad. Anyway, we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.